My name is Manish Lunia. I think from the session that we had last, I think quite a bit of it has been discussed. I think this place has a lot of players who are doing something really innovative. And then the task was given to me to say, hey, what is the importance of self-service platforms? I think this place has all of it. Yet, in my noble attempt, as a user, as a founder of a company which runs an NBFC and a fintech platform today, I have both sets of conventional set of collection setups and also digital setups. And I'll kind of tell you what we do at Flexiloans, where I see as a user of these self-service platforms, how is it useful to us and what's the way forward. In this piece, I'll also kind of tell you what our customers even today feel about lending and the loan industry. So this is Flexiloans. We are an industry fintech lender. We disburse about 75,000 of loans in about 2,200 cities in the country, cities and towns in the country, with one place in Bombay. And the customers are fairly micro in a segment, sub 10 lakhs ticket size, typically starting with 50,000 as well. And like my colleague told in one of the questions, we also do some products like buy now pay later. When that happens and the geography reaches high, you can assume when we hire somebody to head our collections, he's saying, hey, how many people do I have when you have 2,200 cities and towns? And we said 10. And he's like, how will I manage this? So it's going to be very difficult for him. It was difficult in his mindset. But now, over the years, I think today we manage this 75,000 loans, sub 10 lakhs, ticket size, and 100% digital, with a 97 to 98% plus collection efficiency month on month in the unsecured loan segment. This is typically how our customers, agents, people think about what a typical collection agent is. The Vasuli Bhai, right? This is the image even today when somebody in the last panel, despite this being the panel, talked about Mahindra being banned by the RBI or anybody else. And this is what picks up the news, right? Typically, the Vasuli Bhai. The myth continues to say that agents are there to only harass people to suicide. The myths continue to say that recovery agents only abuse verbally and physically. The myths continue to say that money will come only if you harass, visit, and humiliate the customer. These are myths. Any collection person would say this is not the reality. However, all that comes in the news is only this. It's time to kind of start using practices which kind of negate this, show the collection efficiencies can be without these, right? That's like what 99.9% collection people do. They basically empathize with the customer. They kind of train a customer to kind of not default and yet pay a bill, etc. And like someone mentioned, the collection activity starts at the time of giving credit. So how does collections kind of come back, give insights to the credit manager, the risk manager on good quality credit or issues which somebody cannot see from the analytics at a credit stage. So on the left-hand side, the current times continue to have, the call centers have increased versus the physical touch. So up to bucket 1 or early stage, like the panelists in the previous one were mentioning, you would all use call centers, right? The second one is going to the police or going to the customer, and these are the typical customers who would not be having anything when they start defaulting. So why they took a loan, the reason why most people don't pay circumstantial, we all understand this very, very well. There's no reiteration. But what happens when we start collecting and reviewing the collection efforts is that, hey, why am I not getting money? It's not empathetic. Right? So PTPs and broken PTPs is still the discussion agenda, but not about how am I prioritization. They stay in these conference rooms or the same stuff, and I think slowly things are moving to the conversational AI, the bots, and the analytics dashboard, which is so important to say, hey, there is a set of customers, about 70% of them, who actually pay me in the first 10 days by a simple nudge. Do I really need to allocate those to a calling agent or field agent? The answer could be no. And we kind of realized over a period of time that these can be simple nudges and the collection efficiency can happen. For the 30, there's another spread. Somebody has been defaulting every month and is paying on the 20th of the month. Now if you kind of put this data and stack it up, you realize that this is a hard guy, he will pay up, but he needs a nudge. So multiple things of pre-calling, etc. can happen, and a very different dashboard analytics can happen. Now this is something which when I speak to collection managers and collection heads, you on the ground understand the importance of it. So while in this conference, in this room, we will have leaders who would want to kind of use stuff, I can assure you of having met hundreds and thousands of credit managers, collection managers over the last 7-8 years of Flexiloans. People don't get it. So unless the user understands the importance and the value of this product, it won't happen. So it's very important to explain it in their own language. My sense of the sales or tools or your new collection tech ecosystem, are they any good? And this is my view. There is a clear improved customer experience. When individuals approach people, the tonality could be very different. The way of communication could not be standardized. And remember, the reason before getting a loan, all of us are also ones who get hundreds of calls daily to kind of get a loan. And we say loan nahi chahiye, right? Now this customer has also chased one time to get a loan. And he has now become a culprit. Now the tonality that we are using is 100 times to recover a loan. But the diction has changed. The way we speak has changed. That shouldn't. And thus, customer continues to be the king. The lifetime value of a customer to borrow from you can continue to be king. It could be very huge. So let's not spoil that relationship, and I think that's the benefit of actually using standardized communications, standardized technology to kind of communicate with emotional AI is a new word that's coming here. So if you use some of these things, that kind of is maintained. The collection costs are reduced is a clear example. People versus technology, if you can kind of shoot hundreds of blasts in the message or anything else versus people kind of calling in, the efficiency to reach them, the cost, it's very natural stuff. This is one thing that will drive your P&L and allow you to kind of spend your 30% bandwidth on really high risk customers. The micro-ticketing, the BNPL loans, it is inefficient. It is inefficient if I make a business plan of doing BNPL loans via collection network or calling. It could be as high as 10% of the loans. So unless you use smart tech or collection tech, one cannot think of micro loans. And just for everybody's information here in this room, last year about 20 crore loans were done with ticket size less than 10,000 rupees. That's the bureau data. 20 crore loans. So if you have less than 5,000 rupees loan and a recovery ratio, etc. via call, it's inefficient. Or a person visit, it's inefficient. The omni-channel reach is again a great stuff. While we make calls happen, the customer will not be picking that point in time, and an agent says, I called the customer one, and this is no issue. But the customer is available at a different point in time. So the nudges, the ideas, the laughs, the voice bots actually ensure that your same agent is much more efficient in reaching the customer through the day, where the customer is available and not where the agent is available. The easy prompts, the payment methods, the links, the razor pay links or the payment links that are available now, the prompts that you can pay a small amount today, and they're very standard and very innovative things that are coming into smart tech. And I think I was amazed by the set of people who are around in this room. And so that's what some of the things that we've used. And the efficient amalgamation, I was telling you about the fact that once you start knowing that there is a 20% set of customers who are not paying for a reason or are paying on 15th day, that analytics now feeds in, because earlier it was on Excel sheets or the agent's textbook, the khata book that you may call, the agent's book. Now it starts getting in the system, and there is a clear prototype and a trending database which is available to say there is an X geography, X channel partner, X RM, X collection manager, who is effectively always dragging a collection to 20th or doing a delay. Whereas there is a set of agents, channel partners, markets, which are at 99% collection efficiency. Now this data never came back into the credit portfolio or the business portfolio. So a positive data should be relayed back as well, while negative data should be relayed back in the policy as well. So I think that started to happen at our organization. We have a regular monthly exercise where the collection insights get sent to the policy team. Basis this, a policy revision kind of takes place. And there are coincidental benefits, right? These are benefits that a collection manager will not want or may not have perceived on day one, but in a smart tech collect tool is being used, these are benefits that one has. So comprehensive, differentiated yet standardized communication. You can actually tell him, hey, you made a PTV but you're not paying now. This can be vernacularized. So vernacular communications are much more easier. They can be sent on WhatsApp now with a permission. So when that starts happening, that you're basically seeing a permission that I promised, versus saying a standard communication. Your payment is due on this date, please ignore if paid. That's what you, even now 90% of communication is this. Versus saying, hey, you made a promise on 22nd to make a payment on 23rd, this is missed, can we help, do you want a call back? Now this is much more nudgy. This is where the additional customer starts to say, hey, I have promised, oh, I'm defaulting on a promise. Versus the standard monotonous message that is coming back. There's a lot of data privacy. I think when we have to use agents or field agents across the country, like we do in 2,200 locations, we have to send a lot of information out to agents on Excel sheets. This has private information about the residents, the phone numbers, and many other information about a consumer. When you start using the smart tech tools, you basically can mask it. Just like your Ola Uber calls are masked and the numbers are not known, you can kind of delete that information out from your app or mobile phone data. And this is going to be the future where you kind of preserve the data privacy and security. The analytics on consumer behavior, the team productivity. Before we started using the tools, there was no system to kind of understand the productivity of an individual. How many calls are originating or originating? How many calls are effective? But now there's a training database on top performers and bottom performers, and I think that effective training mechanism can be done. So thus, this is coincidental, right? Obviously, in the mind of a team leader, this is there. But when you have thousands of agents and you want to kind of train the agents who are not performing up the curve, that's a great coincidental benefit of data. You can actually do communication labs, reverse feedback, identification of top trouble areas. So a customer who was a PTP suddenly goes into non-contactable status and then again comes into settlement and again goes into non-contactable status. Status is changed every day, 30 times a month at least, if not more. And then over the last 12 months, if it's continuing, it's 366 statuses. There are 10 or 20 positive statuses during this period of settlement. Now, it can't be tracked on Excel sheets. So if somebody is to figure out, hey, let's figure out in a particular month, I want to kind of recover everybody who's crossed 360, who has had the most positive intent of all. The current state could be non-contactable. But this guy was contactable 3 months ago with the settlement that he wanted, but we didn't give a settlement for an amount. If an AI query had to be done, it can be done only via systems which are smart tech tools, not otherwise. So, few examples of what we have seen in terms of the support. This model has become 70% better in identifying the customers. Basically, classify a customer under various risk grades, depending on the collection efficiency, collection location, taking information from bureau or smart tech tools about the locations which are not performing well and otherwise. And at stage 1, at the point of information when we kind of underwrite a customer, we see whether we have alternate data points available from bureau or other places about his other addresses, about his other phone numbers, because in digital journeys, customer only comes and provides a few information. But we need to find out independent third-party tools to figure out information. That's what smart tech helps. Our collection dashboards, again, like I explained over the period, has helped us to cover consistently upwards of 97% collection efficiency in over 2,000 cities and towns for unsecured ticket size loans of sub 10 lakhs. So I think that's a very complicated setup. Even secured loans typically don't have such collection efficiency. So use of these tools can kind of really help. The partnering with this collection tech system partners kind of trained us a lot of stuff. Same day last month, what were your measures? What were your results like? Same day last month for this agent or for this RM, what was the conversion in terms of collections like? When you start kind of having these data points, you really realize the problem areas in the process. Because there's somebody not available, some agent has now resigned over the last 5 days, a agent is actually behaving bad, but rather than discovering that at the end of the month, you can discover it on a daily basis or a weekly basis, depending on the frequency you want to track. And these are kind of thrown out by the systems directly. So it helps us kind of control the flow rates on a daily basis versus now on a monthly basis. And the last is obviously the propensity model. Like I mentioned, if you are 70% customers pay in the first 10 days, if they default, you know that again start a nudge and not do a hard call or hard push on this. So this is where these are live use cases that we've kind of discovered amongst us and our partners. Thank you. Happy to take any questions that you guys have. Assuming none, thank you very much. Yes.
Hi. I want to know the tech support that you're talking about. What do you think, like, we have been talking about the B2C sector. Do you think this is implementable in the B2B sector as well?
I mean, collection is the same, right? The idea is that if you have anything in the system, you can actually look at trended data and run analytics on it. What I see today, while everything else from customer acquisition, underwriting has been digitized, the customer collection is still not digitized, just because of the width of people going on the ground is much more higher even today. Even in B2B, if you, rather than saying the customer is defaulted, if you knew what was the profile of the customer upfront, did he have an asset base? Does he have an asset base like what, when our collection managers go, they know that this guy has a loan against property. They know that this guy has taken gold loans and has 5 credit cards. So if you knew about the profile of the customer, the B2B customer as well, it's very powerful for him to know that this is what happened. Also when you can scrub information, etc., about what was the history of the customer, what is the net worth of these customers, all the credit data comes to the collection fold up front. Then a B2B collection becomes much more simpler. And again, everything about an RM setup, what is the efficiency of an RM, what is the, now B2B customers may not be, some customers may be delaying for 7 days every time they invoice, but they pay within 7 days typically, it's a trend. Those customers, because you want them as customers, you don't want any aggressive action to be taken, right? So you basically leave them with soft nudge with one RM or a centralized resource kind of managing them. Customers who will consistently delaying 15 days and above or your thresholds that you define will need relationship managers to engage them deeply on a monthly basis. You will kind of reduce the credit limits, which is otherwise not given to the credit guy. Hey, don't give him, he's been doing this for a month, but let's not extend the limit because it's kind of delaying every month 15 days. Because this is an early warning signal. So these are the things obviously that I think the analytics that these tools can provide is insane. It's just about the adaptability and usability.
Secondly, this particular tech support you're talking about, is it from a single party or is it a single software that you're talking about or is it an amalgamation of multiple?
Right now we've been experimenting and amalgamating, but I see people here having 70-80% of all that I just said into one app or service.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you everyone.